Hi, it's Kiwi here. I thought I'd do a quick little video on a problem with a lot of vehicle owners that I thought I would just mention. And that is, I get a lot of cars come into the workshop and they have a lot of leaves and dirt or twigs. And what happens is when the leaves decompose, they decompose into dirt. So this is the plastic cover, and under there is the plenum chamber. And what happens is the leaves and so forth sit around these vents here, and those vents go into the cooling system of the cabin, where the heater fan and the air conditioning fan live. And on top of the fan sits a thing called a cabin filter, and this is a cabin filter, right? This is a clean cabin filter. And what happens is, over time, when the leaves and the dirt and the twigs go into sit on top of the plenum chamber, they go into the cooling system of the vehicle for the cabin, the cooling part of the cabin and the heating part of the cabin. You know, like your demister and your vents and so forth. And these bits of twigs and leaves sit on top of the cabin filter, and what this causes is it causes the cabin filter to get dirty. And what happens is, over time, when you drive along in your car and the fan on the inside of the car is like blowing warm air to keep you warm inside the car, the air goes past or through the cabin filter into the cabin and circulates in the cabin. And what happens there is, this is supposed to help the cabin have clean air. But if all the dirt and twigs and shit fall in there and sit on top of the cabin filter, you can actually get a smell of must, a musty smell or a dirty smell, and that's because the cabin filter is full of rubbish. So I've got some examples to show you as well. So it's just advisable when you wash your car, and it's important to wash your car, is to use a vacuum cleaner or a brush and clean all these leaves and dirt and twigs away from the plastic cover that sits on top of your plenum chamber. Now, the other thing this does is, when these little bits of dirt and stuff decompose, they can sit on other areas of the car where it's steel, you know, like so inside here or so forth, and that can cause that part of the car to rust. So it's just an idea to keep the leaves and the twigs and the rubbish away from this area, and just keep it regularly cleaned. So here's a drawing of my cabin filter and those leaves on top of the plenum chamber there, and there's your fan. So what happens is, when the fan's on, the air gets sucked through those leaves, which are sitting on top of the plenum chamber, through into the cabin filter, which is supposed to clean the air going into the cabin of the vehicle, and that's the fan that distributes the air around the vehicle or inside the vehicle. So what happens is, when these little leaves, which I have shown you, sort of decompose and so forth, and lucky enough to fall through the gaps, they sit on top of the cabin filter. And of course, when the air is getting sucked into the vehicle, you've got all the fumes and the smell of that dirty, decomposing rubbish sitting on top of the cabin filter coming into the vehicle as well. So it's a good idea, when you get your car serviced, to get your cabin filter checked. My cabin of my vehicle, and so when the air comes through here, it circulates through the whole cabin. And so why would you want that dirty, smelly, you know, fungus infected air coming into your car? So clean that dirt off there when you wash your vehicle. It's not that hard to do. Just like I said, use a vacuum cleaner or a little, you know, you can even use a paintbrush or something, and just brush all the leaves and so forth out of the way, or suck them up with the vacuum cleaner is the best trick. So now I'm going to show you some cabin filters that I've been storing over time. So here we have, I thought I had more, but I've probably thrown them out. But here's sort of two cabin filters. One of the cabin filters, which is this one here, comes as one piece, and you can see that it's just full of junk inside there. Well, you breathe that stuff. That goes through the air system. The air system goes through this and goes into the vehicle, and it can create a not a very nice smell inside your vehicle. So this is another one. This cabin filter comes in two parts, so these two connect together, but you can actually see that it's really dirty. So here you can see how dirty it is. Like, it's just disgusting. And here is a brand new one. And you can get different types. You can actually, this is not actually one of the ones with charcoal on it, but you can actually get cabin filters with charcoal in them to help absorb smells and so forth. Now, another thing which I find is quite good myself is if I replace the cabin filter, you can write somewhere, you could write, you know, here, cabin filter replaced at, you know, 80,000 kilometres, or cabin filter replaced at 100,000 kilometres. So that can be an idea too, just to get a felt pen and just write when you replaced it, so then people know. Because otherwise you have to go into the vehicle and check it yourself. It can be quite time consuming. I hope this little video helped you. Good luck, take care, live the dream. Cheers, Kiwi John.